I think especially with entrepreneurship, we feel like we have to present this like really perfect facade out front. And I think too, as a social worker, there's this element of I have to be really put together because my clients and the people I'm working with, I am there to serve them. So we put our own needs and our own value in the back seat. So double whammy as an entrepreneur, I felt like I had to be perfectly shiny on the outside. And then as the social worker, my mentality was clients first, my stuff later, even if it's a dumpster fire. But then what you were saying about getting a coach, I joined a group coaching program. That's actually how we met.
Yes. Was that your first group coaching program?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was at the end of November. And then all of a sudden in like February, so that's like, only a few months ago, things just started to happen with the business. I was selling my offer, getting clients. And
Well, can we go back? Because
yeah.
I do know a little bit of the story. You figured out your offer.
Yes. Yeah, that's the other thing. I figured out my offer. Well, I clarified the offer. I went in thinking I had one offer, totally scrapped it and rebuilt it. Came up with another offer, was building a network, finding a community. And I had now at that point figured out some of like the basics of running a business, like that after all that chapter of not pretty and messy. Was it honestly, the last few months have been really exciting. A lot of work, but also really exciting because now I'm seeing the return on my time and emotional investment.
And I love that you said that too. I'm interrupting you only because you keep saying these amazing things. Emotional investment.
Yeah.
Because that I think boy, that's a whole, I don't know if it's more expensive financially, but this whole I'm at a loss for words, Ashley, because it can be super emotional, right? Emotional in a great way, like you're on a high, and then emotional in like, okay, I think I need psychotropics because I'm going mad, right? Like, like what's happening, or I'm super depressed, or I think there's a combination of like learning curve and comparison with other people. And, because you know so much, but then there are also these huge gaps of understanding, or maybe they're not huge, but because you don't know, you just know there's a gap in where you are versus where you want to be. And there's, you've got this emotional investment because now your back is kind of against the wall because you have to pay that coach or have to, you told somebody you were going to make good on this investment or whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's hard to describe. And I think everybody's journey is different. And when I first started, I heard people talking about this, but kind of just glazing over it. And I was just like, well, just tell me what to think or what to do, and I'll do it. Like, it'll be easier for me because I'll just tell me the mistakes you made and I'll avoid those. But it's not that easy.
No. And, that's the other thing of where I am, to kind of bring it back to the social work realm. I am profoundly grateful for the social work training and education because I had to use it for myself of realizing I am a multifaceted person. There are multiple systems at play, multiple levels of systems at play. And, even for myself, taking care of myself, having those boundaries and self-care and learning and pushing through some of all of that. And even too, when I work with my clients now, right? I'm sure you experience this of your client is not just the person who's coming to you with whatever problem they want you to solve. There is a whole like backstory and systems at play in their life and in their business. And what I think makes me really good at what I do is because of my social work background, I understand that. And so it's not just, okay, let's solve problem A. Let's uncover some of this other stuff that might be happening. So it's almost like being a social work for business owner.
No, exactly. No, it's so helpful to have that.
Yeah. But even then for ourselves too, right? Like it helps us balance our own angst or needs and whatnot. But again, like I think the other thing about social workers is that and for people with social work backgrounds, we're usually the last people to sign up or raise our hand that we need help or support,
Mm.
because we think we're the ones providing support and help. And I think that's the same thing with business owners running our own businesses. We always think we're the expert in this.
Totally.
Like, it seems weird for us to ask for help. And yet,
Yes.
if anything, that is like the biggest sign we need help, and
Yes.
to invite others into the process, financial
Yeah.
advisor or a coach in the business
Totally.
world. And social workers are resourcing their people, resourcing
Oh,
their clients. And yeah, there's so many good parallels. And so that's why now I don't, like, looking back, I don't regret, spending all that money on a degree that on the outward side, it doesn't look like I'm using. I am 100% using it,
yeah.
for both my degrees, both my master's and my undergrad. And even as I dive more into and grow as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, I, like, again, still profoundly grateful. And sure, there are a few things I might have done differently because some things were really messy and kind of crash and burn, but, like, would not have changed that at all.
So this is a good segue to
Yeah.
talk about what you are doing now and how you do help. Yeah, who you are helping and what are you
Yeah.
helping them do? Let's get into it.
Yeah. So I always introduce myself as, I'm Ashley. I'm the CEO and founder of AHK Business Management, and I love working with business owners to elevate the way they work and step into their CEO shoes so they can confidently run their business. So what I was saying about being a social worker for business owners, that is kind of what I do. I am the hype woman for business owners who want to really own their CEO role and make an impact for their business and their clients. So,
So hold on, before you go there,
yeah,
what does it mean to own a CEO role? Why
yeah,
is that important? What happens when we don't own that? I feel
yeah,
like our conversation up until now has been a good catalyst for why you need a CEO day, but go ahead.
yeah. Okay, unpacking that question. So it's important to, own your CEO role, because as small business owners, so a lot of times the people I work with are either solopreneurs, so it's just them, or they have a small team. We're sometimes, I think, afraid to own the fact that we are the CEO, the chief executive officer of our business. We're just like, oh, this is my side gig, or oh, I'm a freelancer, or oh, I run a small business. It's a big mindset shift, because when we say it like that, we're kind of almost like self-deprecating and not valuing our worth and our expertise. When we say I'm a CEO, it denotes that, we are the leaders or the leader of our business. We have built it from the ground up, and we have that intention to grow and make impact.
Mhm.
It's so easy to just say CEO and think people like Steve Jobs, Oprah Winfrey, like
Mhm.
Elon Musk or whatever, those big, like the really
Yeah,
big
yeah,
people. But when we get into that mindset, then it's almost like valuing ourselves as less. And then we don't push ourselves, or we don't, when we go to like sell our services or talk about what we do, it's again, mindset,
yeah.
intention to grow.
I definitely experienced it as a posture. So when I think of myself as, okay, I'm a business owner or, founder of Rich Social Worker. Yeah, I've got a couple videos up. Yeah, I have a couple clients, yeah, I'm doing this and that. But when I say I'm the CEO, like you said, it's a mindset, it's a shift, it's a different posture. Because now I can say like, yeah, I own this brand. I am here to, these are the problems that I solve. And I am, yeah, I'm an MF boss. That's what I
Yes.
am.
Yes, exactly. And um especially for business owners who are looking to grow, either they're a solopreneur or they have maybe just like a virtual assistant, like a VA, and they're now like, okay, I'm ready for the next step. It is, again, like they kind of need that like pep up, hype up. And also some people really need help laying out the plan and the steps. So I guess this is getting more into what I do now. Um, but I work with business owners or CEOs in two different ways. One, it's you have a lot of the ideas or have maybe no ideas of what to do next. It's getting everything that's stuck in your head and laying it out, making a plan for your business, prioritizing what needs to happen so that you can go after your goals and move the needle. And that's where like my love and experience with project and task planning and project management, and I love breaking big things down. So working with people, maybe it's figuring out a marketing plan, marketing focus, deconstructing their offer, looking at their systems, but putting it all into an action plan. And then on the other hand, which is relatively new for now my business, but it's becoming something I'm becoming known for, is helping you develop a weekly CEO day so that you are intentionally taking time out of your week to work on your business and kind of not just the housekeeping, but the things that are going to help you grow and maintain your business, and not just in your business. So the doing of the client work every day. And so having a CEO day or CEO time, and then having a weekly schedule that helps you run your business more confidently and manage your own time as the business owner.
I think I saw in one of your recent reels, by the way, you are also a prolific Instagrammer. Love your
Yes.
reels. I think I saw recently you did one that said, a CEO day is how you self-care for
Yeah, it's
yourself.
a love letter to your business.
It's your love letter to your business. And I thought, there's that social worker. There she is.
Yep.
There she is. She is. And you're so right? Because from my understanding, a CEO day is a day where you're not taking clients, you're not doing anything but like thinking, planning, structuring, and just giving yourself that space and time. And when you get into entrepreneurship, I think especially for new entrepreneurs, we always feel like we have to be on. Yep. And we don't have time to think because we just have to do, because, this thing has to ship, or this person is doing and we're not doing. And so we don't value, I think we think that it's a luxury to have time to think and plan. But I love that you've crafted this offer that's like, no, this is not a luxury. This is actually a cornerstone of how you're going to build a successful business. And I think it's brilliant. And you're the perfect person to do it. And also, I know I'm like taking over your entire interview, but it's to big you up, because I love too that you've highlighted the things that you love. Like you said, I love deconstructing things. I love planning. I love breaking it down. And my whole goal with Rich Social Worker, right, is that wealth is within you already. Yes, you've got a social work degree, which is an asset, but your real asset is your natural skills, your abilities, the things that you love to do, because that social work training is going to be with you wherever you go. It's a leadership degree. It's a person focused degree, right?
Exactly.
And so those skills are going to go with you wherever you go. But damn it, what do you love? What lights you up? What do you just enjoy doing? Right. And let's monetize that.
Exactly. And I think if I'm now 29, right? And I graduated college when I was like, what, 22, 23?
3-0 is coming up.
Right. And I think if I were to like meet myself and have a conversation with like immediately post college Ashley, so Starbucks Ashley.
You love her.
I would not, I think I'd have had a hard time if you told me this is where I was going to be now. I would have been like, what? You're totally kidding. You're lying. Mostly because I would not have envisioned myself like jumping out of the comfort zone and taking big risks like this, because, starting a business is a risk, on many levels. But I look back and everything, even from before college, right? My brother might say I'm the bossy one. My dad likes to say I could run a small country. These are all things that have been part of my life and part of my story, my skill set. Yeah, I got degrees to like kind of formalize that education and those skills and the job experiences, right? Whatever's on my resume has been adding to that. And then realizing entrepreneurship, oh, all these things that I love doing, or I've been saying, oh, that's just my hobby, or I enjoy doing, but like I would never be able to get paid for that. I actually am able to do that. Like I'm getting paid. I have sold my offers. Like I have that external validation that, yeah, these things that I'm passionate about, that I love doing, I can make that a career, a job, a business. And it makes it every day actually very exciting. And so, um, back to that CEO day, I love practicing a CEO day for myself because I get to really dream big now and self-care. And I say this a lot to clients and on other interviews, but really a CEO day and owning your CEO role, it's like on the airplanes in the event, heaven forbid that oxygen masks fall from the air ceiling. They always say you have to put yours on first before helping the people around you. Because if you pass out from oxygen deprivation, right, you're going to be no good to other people. It's the same thing with business and like taking care of yourself as a CEO, as a business owner, as a social worker too, right? We have to have that intentional time to recharge our batteries, to have perspective on what's going on, dream big, strategize and plan, and also celebrate all the work that's happened. So maybe I'm going off on a tangent there, but
No, I love that. Celebrate.
It's just a very exciting thing. I think I can
No,
say that now, but
no, I love that part of celebrate, because again, something that we entrepreneurs don't necessarily do all the time, because we're, new entrepreneurs, especially, we're so focused on that next thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to go back to something that you said though, because you said starting a business is a big risk. Yes, so is putting all of your eggs into the basket of a job, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think the thing that you did that was smart, even though maybe you weren't thinking, you weren't planning for a pandemic, but you started exploring your options while you still had a job.
Yes. And I think that's something kind of like a nugget to leave people with is don't be afraid of exploring the alternative ways of doing social work or putting your degree to use, or just exploring alternative things in general, because I think especially when we're younger, we tend to look at the world as a little more black and white and like clear trajectory, clean lines. It's not. Life is usually anything but the clear line and anything but black and white. So exploring the things that are available to you and just learning, because you know what, even if you choose not to, at least you learn something, right? And I think one thing I really kind of wish I did was explore these alternative pathways earlier. I mean, I'm very grateful, very proud of my journey that I've had. But sometimes I wonder, what if I was a little bit more open to some of these alternative things earlier, like in college? I don't know. But again, that'd be the nugget is don't be afraid of trying and exploring, because maybe something that you really love doing that isn't necessarily something you're doing in your job, but something you do outside of your job could become a really cool business idea or your next big thing.
I would end on that note, except I try to remember to ask all of my guests, what does being a rich social worker mean to you?
I think aside from having that financial freedom, I think being rich in the experiences as well. Yeah, I'm sure money opens doors for you and it's a great way to live, but also, again, I'm not making buckets and buckets of money now, but I feel way more fulfilled. And um, I really think being that rich social worker, it's rich in experience and opportunities
Mm.
to live my life on my terms and to explore and to try things. Because when you dig into what you're passionate about, chances are something very unexpected and really great will come of it.
Absolutely. And I'll say this, you might not be making buckets of money yet. Your offer is still
Right.
kind of new. So,
Yeah.
and it's not a cheap offer, and
No.
it's so needed. So
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. This has been an awesome conversation. I appreciate
Yeah.
it so much, and all success in
Thank you.
everything you're doing. Social workers, thanks so much for tuning in. As I always say, I believe you can dream, be, do, or have anything you want, but it starts with your mindset. So make sure it's a rich one. See you next time.